doing some Sundays because it depends on what my situations, but I'm back and forth. Um, you know, I think that that's something that something. That's how I feel. You know. Um, Gonna get something going real quick. You know. So what's going on? What's going on? Let me get on here to this thing real quick. We're gonna get in here. I'll be on here for like an hour today, just coming on here. So see what we got. Okay, I'll come back in just 1 second. I'm not gonna be on here super long today. I don't know what that means in English. You look like an idiot because you're the one here coming on my site to try to talk some smack. I don't know who that is. So that's how trolls start. They got enough better to do with their time. I'm just now coming on here. I ain't even giving you a peace of mind, but I'm gonna get you up out of here though just a second. As soon as I get this thing going, create my poll question. Okay, let me get this thing straight. I got this jive turkey. Got this jive turkey talking trash. This jive turkey. Got this jive turkey talking trash. Get you up out of here. Ain't trying to hear no jive turkeys talking no trash. I'm live here today. Trying to hear no jive turkeys talking no trash. I'm live here today. So let's get into some conversation. Get into some conversation. Okay, we are now live today. So we in full. And I didn't send out everybody. So if people get any information to come check it out live. So if you're not getting notifications, don't know. But I'm gonna be on here for like an hour though. So we'll see. Appreciate the ones that are coming on. And let me know where you're coming from. And we can get into it. So I did listen to that Cardi B record. Of course, she's filthy and vulgar and all that. That's nothing new. But the what's going on with Lizzo was catchy. And the cut, the Janet Jackson sample for Principal was cool. But the best track I heard was Trophies. She really went to she went top on that one. But the rest of her stuff is just soggy leftovers. And she and Migos, the man, she need to be, for Stephon Diggs, you gotta have the honeymoon music. So, but I did notice on the charts, she's charting. But I'm curious who's buying her stuff though. I remember when hip hop artists, you had the hit, you didn't get the luxury of acting like you were Michael Jackson, Sade or something. And you got to bring your records pretty quick. So she definitely keeps her merch hustle and keeps her brand out here good. Cause she's still generating enough buzz. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. Got my attention. So she still got a fan base out here. So somebody out here feeling it. So anyway, that's the latest on that though. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday though. And yes, I'm actually live here on a Sunday. Did some church get-togethers and yeah, I'm back. So everybody's having a good Sunday, good into get ready starting to the work week, school week, football, baseball, whatever you into. You know, that's what I like. So anyway, yeah, just in chill mode. So we're gonna see how it comes through. Let me go do some beering. Okay, what's happening? Long time no see. How you been? How you doing? Good to see you. I know because I usually don't come on Sundays, but I'm gonna be coming on some Sundays now. Cause my summer Sunday, so if I'm around and available, so the timing and everything. So yeah, because sometimes during the week I might be a little occupied. So like tomorrow and Tuesday, which I'll be back Wednesday. Should be able to give a Wednesday stream. I'm doing 3 times out the week. That's because I got my speaker on. Let me turn it off. I'll turn it off now so you can hear me live. But what's going on with you? Glad to see you. I'm sure we got a lot to get into. I'm gonna be on here for an hour, so if you want to hit me up with some questions, we can make the next 50 minutes count. So it's up to you. Let me know how much time you got. Yeah, I took the echo off. But if you're good for a straight 50 more minutes and you want to talk, this is the time. Was just here. I was on last week. I did briefly Friday. And I had a long one Wednesday. And so I'm doing like 3 out the week. Unless, of course, I get another, I get some more people want to come and do more. Yeah, you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you see me, and just send me a note. But if not, then that's why I gotta kind of keep it to 2 to 3 because I. But again, as long as the questions are coming in and people want to talk, I will be here. And the likes are coming and you're hitting the questions, we're good. To have for 10 years, Shaq to start. I'm gonna bench Kareem and I gotta cut Wilt. Only because when Shaq hit his window, that was the most devastating. Wilt offensively was more devastating, but when Shaq was winning, and we're talking about, making it count, I have to give it to Shaq on that. He made that mess count. He made it count in a big way. Of course, Kareem had the best endurance. Even though Shaq did play 20 years, but he really played about 12, 13. But so Kareem would have to come off the bench. Wilt would have to get cut, unfortunately, because he was a better athlete than the two. But the results, I got to say, Shaq got better results out of what he did, and Kareem had better endurance. That's how I break it down. But you asking me, it's a two different type of question. Okay. You asking me, it's two, because just so you understand, you asking me, now if you asking me who was the more talented and all that, it's Will. You asking me who imposed a will, got results, was unstoppable, is Shaq. And if you're asking me who could flat out, you got the system, he can go, it's Kareem. See, so it's three different questions. That's how the best way I can answer it. But if I'm going by that, with that logic, I'm taking Shaq and Kareem Wilt's got to get cut because Shaq was in a more. Shaq had as many runs as Wilt did almost, as far as getting to the finals, but he won more, and he impacted. He impacted the whole league. Again, anytime they got to get the equivalent to 24 fouls and multiple he kept guys employed. That's why Shaq has to be always top tier. He kept the league. He kept you employed. Kareem, easily. Because that skyhook, you could shoot that thing as a three ball. That skyhook would give Jokic a problem. This you can put all the body on him and whatever. You'd have to zone him to appreciate because he just was too. He'd be. You know, he was a better free throw shooter than the other two. He could pass. He could run the floor, and you could utilize him in different types of sets. He had a finger roll. He had a finger roll. And he had a little baby shot. I mean, it wasn't like he didn't have a little bit of a shot, but he had a finger roll. He had a bang. He had a hook. He had little shots. Now, if his style, I'll put it to you like this about Wilt. If he added a little bit to a jump shot, he'd make Jokic look like small potatoes. He would double up what Jokic does if his shot was on point. But he have to shoot the three. If you put the three ball with what Wilt Chamberlain did, then it's over. Yeah, but no one had a better one than George Gervin. That's still the king of the finger roll. George Gervin made that thing top float. George Gervin, George Gervin's roll was sick like Julius Erving's moves. In fact, Dr. J's rolls were sick too, because Drexler would be third on that list or fourth or behind them guys. Them guys had sick rolls. Dr. J's was like a ballet, man. He flunked that whole and just rolled it under. And Gervin, man, that thing was rolling like bread. So, mm those are like 1 and 1A for me. For Shaq to be able to play today, though, Shaq could play if he built like Giannis. If he played like the Orlando version, oh yeah, oh yeah. No, it's technique though. It's not even about how big the hands were. They had technique. Because Gervin would just do like this. It's just like but it was so the way he would do it. It was like you really have a chance to bite on it because his hands would be moving. You know, if you ever played the game hot hands, turn your hands and get hit. That's how Gervin did it. Dr. J though, that thing was like the flip of like Kevin McHale's an octopus. He would just do that thing and curve. So the heck no. Are you kidding? These cats that they don't play with no skills. They basically basketball today is like music videos. It's more aerobics than it's dancing. It's like it's kind of like what Usher do and Chris Brown. All that twirling and whirling and that's not dancing. You can now they can dance, but that's not that thing is done like operatic to like doing, you know, it is when you see it done the right way, you know. No, these cats they just trying to because Steph Curry basically said if you were winded, basically, because it's just to make you run and go. It's like doing crazy eights and crazy circles. That's all it is. It's a big difference between that and actually, you know, strategizing. So that's how I look at it. No, because to have skills, you gotta, you know, they don't profess that. They don't. That's what I say about that. That's not no starting five. That he don't belong on no starting top five. Kemp ain't on nobody's starting five. The Wilt part I give you. Kobe ain't better than Larry Bird, so that's a joke right there. Mm-mm. The 2 out of 5 I could see. That's comical. When you put your name on there, you better do something that nobody else can do. Aside from posting up, what else could he do? Mm-mm. I'm gonna tell you something. Bird, if Kobe played like Bird, Shaq would have been unstoppable. You gonna only hear me say that on this live stream. You don't hear nobody else say that. I dare you to find somebody else to say that. And it's not even about being a big Shaq fan, which I am, but I dare you to find someone else to say what I just said. And you can quote me on that. If Kobe played like Larry Bird, Shaq would have been unstoppable. Because if you look at Larry Bird's numbers with 24, 10, and 8 with the imagine if Kobe added 3 or 4. It was Shaq's stepfather, the Sergeant Philip Harrison, rest in peace, who said if he could see the court, he'd be the GOAT. Well, that's because I don't know if you got to see him play. I saw him play. That he did get rebounds. I know. 24 and 10 and 6 or 8. I know. He was an offensive rebounder. It wasn't like he was defending per se, but he got rebounds. And he would lead breaks. And he take the ball behind his back and go coast to coast, which I did see. He was a double man, you know. There's a reason why he's a standard, you know. That's the assist more likely. No, his rebounds was legit. He wasn't the a best defender, nothing like that, but he got boards and he lead breaks. There's highlights of him going against he going coast to coast, behind the back. So Magic, because if Magic doesn't utilize what his skill set and then understand the old and the new, it doesn't work the same. Kareem was steady, but you got to have the right person at the point guard position who can also compartmentalize, utilize. You got to understand something. This man sometimes was beating you with only scoring 2 points. Who else do you know is a top 10 player or a top 20 player who could do what Magic did? I'm just saying. That's why Magic to me is a better player than Curry as far as a player. Now, as a point guard, I'm going with Steph because Steph utilizes that position. But if you're talking about totality of what you did, Magic is the most complete player because you gotta remember he beat you in different ways, and it was the subtle and the not so subtle with the way they run Showtime with the offense running, hitting on the layers, keeping people involved, keeping everybody honest. That break was everything. That rhythm, that cadence. Kareem was great, but it's like everybody else back at that time. You're only as good as how your guard put you. Mm, this is where he runs into a problem, though. He wasn't a shooter, though. And I couldn't imagine him. He'd have to score about 25 points today. And the thing about it is LeBron didn't even do that. I mean, Magic was something else. There hasn't been anyone else like him. Because you got to be unselfish, but you also got to be selfish. It's a real odd mix. And if he today he'd have to score about 20, 25 points. Get the dimes and manipulate situations. For 15 years, I'm taking um, Oscar to start, Curry off the bench. I'm cutting Magic because Oscar Robinson was a precursor to Curry without the three ball, but Oscar could have done all those things, and I do believe if he had the opportunity, he could have been as significant as both of them. I do believe that. That's why he's in the argument from anywhere from the 11th to the 17th greatest player ever. You can make a strong case with Oscar Robinson. His triple double mattered. His style mattered. To be honest with you, Oscar against Curry would be more compelling to me because of the styles. I don't think Magic could. I don't know if Magic could necessarily hang with what Oscar Robinson could put down. I'm just saying. No, it's not. Magic to me is the better player because of what he could do offensively. Curry could never make it to do what Magic did. I'm not, and I'm a big Curry fan. He can't go and play a game where he just scores 2 points. Magic could beat you with filling the stat sheets up. Plus, he could also screens. That's the little. It's the way he got everybody involved. Curry don't play like that. But Curry's brand of point guard is more lively today because again, he doesn't have a Kareem, he doesn't have a James Worthy, he doesn't have, you know, there's things that he don't have that makes his that's why I have to give him that for understanding that what I mean by PG. So if someone asks, that's how I best explain it. But if you ask me who was a better player, I still got to say Magic, unless Curry wins another ring. And the reason being is because Magic could beat you multiple ways with only scoring 2 points. No one else can do that. Nobody else. Nobody you can mention has it like him. Because he could literally beat you with steals, assists, rebounds, leading the break. He don't have to score. But if he does happen to score, he's got your butt. Audra Wilson is the baddest WNBA player going. And it's a shame that people don't go based on what's actually happening as opposed to popularity contests because she's putting the work in. But we know there's politics and politics involved, so we know. We already know what's up. People who don't know, they get all seduced and get their feelings. She's a bad player. Only if he was willing to actually take the next step. Yeah, she is. That's a kind of a known. Too bad she don't rub off on Bam. And he could shoot the three ball, but he don't really. He's like an old timey player, and he need to step his game up. He's like a, his style doesn't really allow. He's learned how to shoot the outside shot. He is. He got old timey. I'm sorry. When I look at Bam, it's old timey, old timer. That's how I feel about him. I like his game, but it's like, yo, man, you just learned how to shoot threes. You posting up. What's up? How you doing? Okay, give it to me. No, yesterday. I told you I'd be back on today, and probably Wednesday and Thursday this week. Doubtful tomorrow, definitely not Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, probably for sure. I'm doing 3 days a week, unless of course people be hitting me up, uh, and hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and say, "Yo, man, we'll come and check you out and be on," and then I can make an exception because come on, make sure we have real conversation. Let me know what you're talking about, Calvin. But only if she stepped his game up because he just deferred and he kind of played to be the sidekick. He was better than what he let on. Whiteside was good, but he mentally was stagnant. He had the arrested development. He could shoot free throw. He should have been a broke version of Dwight Howard, a bit like a 1A. And his mindset, he just immature. Was something there. Okay. What's happening? How you doing? Y'all catching me good. I'm on here for another half hour, so let's make it count. The whole crew's on here, so thank y'all for coming through. I'm still waiting for Calvin Jackson's question, so. But I did like Whiteside. It's funny you mention it. He's one of those guys. He turned out better, but he just didn't put the work in. I think he just was lacking maturation. He could shoot free throws, and he was with the Heat and Lakers, and he had some signs with him, but he, 17-13 dude, but he just didn't put the work in. He got kind of complacent. He was good. I mean, he was good and solid, but I just think there was a lack of maturation there. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about, and it was corny too. Cardi B knows what's up. Like I said, I listened to the record, but I did like Trophies though. Trophy was the banger. And she still got, but she does too much. Like I said, she just too common. Okay. Well, you don't know what I'm having for dinner. I'm having a vegetarian pizza, and with I don't know what game I'm gonna watch though. Yeah, I did like Rocksteady. It was a groove. That was a funky song too. I think Bernard Purdy was. She had Cornell Dupree. Because I remember the cast that was on her session. She had. Well, basically, I'll fill you in. The AFC is basically Buffalo, and then you can pick after. It's slim pickings in AFC, and I'm not just saying it as a Bills fan. It's a fact. NFC is where it's at, though. Yeah, whoever wins that game is definitely gonna be have bragging rights because them and Green Bay are the three best teams I've seen in the NFC right now. Well, yeah, I like it because of like when I have it with, you know, it's comfort. But I'll probably do a P&J on some cereal. I ain't decided yet. The Rams should have beat the Eagles last year, and that you know bad playing they. But I will say this: um, McKay, Sean McKay, he's doing a good job as Rams. Michael looks like Michael who? Oh yeah, Micah does. Oh yeah, Michael. Okay, I had to stop for one. I know no. Well, no, Dallas did. That's Jerry Jones being a crackhead. You ain't lying. You know what I'd have done? I'd have sent his butt to Jacksonville. Yeah, because if Ted, to shout out to Ted, Ted's got to be on cloud nine. I'd have sent his butt to Jacksonville or somewhere far away. Yeah, that's how I remembered it. Make two or three of them joints. Mm-hmm. See how country you is, because my grandma used to make fried bananas too. Yeah, about the whole way. Is it where was that at? I think I heard something last night. That's not a surprise though. Oh yeah, you know what? Michael Parsons, you gonna get the Kawhi Leonard treatment. That's what you used to do. You don't want to play here with a superstar team? We're gonna send your butt to Saudi Arabia, El Segundo. Yo, that takes time, yo. And again, you gotta remember what he playing for. Remember what he playing in Jacksonville. So you got nothing but time. You gonna suck for a while, and you stuck with a whack quarterback, and you're gonna stink. So, you know, he'll get better. Now I gotta figure out what it was. You never argue with a woman, because I grew up like that. My grandmother, my father's side was like that. Yeah, I remember Justin Blackman. That's been a minute. You know what? I love to put that in the toaster. That's how I eat it though. Or you want to know what? So if I have my veggie sandwiches right, I put the bud in the middle. So that way when I put some lettuce and some chips and something on it, that's what I do. So funny you say that. Or I toast it. Yep. Man, if you don't sound like you don't get out of my kitchen, that's exactly how it was growing up. For real. Oh yeah, for especially with French toast. You ain't never lied. Showed up, don't. Because leftovers gonna be the new leftovers. You better now that when I used to eat meat back in the day, you had to clean the bone up. They be digging the trash. But what you doing leaving this on that bone? It's like radar too. Mama or grandma was like Aquaman. Like no, they didn't kick him. I think Dame's problem is he don't know how to humble himself. He don't even want to shut up. Dame braggadocian. He still thinks Jay Z owes him something, and part of me thinks he is old, but then there's a part of me he just brings too much on himself. He still walk around like he's still trying to. It was corny. I want to say, was it like UB40? It was some broke version. It sounded like garbage. And I don't want to think about it, but you're right. I hate to admit you were right. It was corny. It's almost like one of those K-Tail ones. Shoot, man, we learned. Let me tell you something. I think in the black household, right? You had to learn. Woody Woodpecker had to be one of your favorite cartoons because that's how you had to eat. You tear everything up like that. I forgot. It's been a while since I heard it, but I didn't care for it though because they synthesized it. That's what it was. And he was already doing too much synthesized stuff in the 80s, but yeah, they took one of his tracks. Dame is like one of those cats who tells you one side of the truth and the other side is like out his behind. They don't have to make no call. Tyreek Hill can wave the flag right now. Yeah, well, I'm not getting into his personal life, but he made it. He's challenged because Miami sucks. They should have gave the Bills a better run, and he got to be dying in Miami. He got to be because he got to look like one of the biggest jokes ever. His former team been camped out in multiple Super Bowls, and his butt don't even make the first round. So he obviously wasn't being. I'm just saying. Yeah, well, that's not their problem. They can't run the ball. They're not that far off, but they're not a title team. They're a team that looks like they could be average. And they got to figure out a way. Yeah, but there ain't nothing to really tell because he doesn't read the field very well. He's my fantasy football quarterback because the ball never hits the ground. He gonna hit somebody. He gonna hit the referee, the ball boy, your team, they team. He never throws incompletions. That ball always complete to somebody. Just ain't necessarily the right person. I remember that. Oh yeah, I play fantasy. That's how I play fantasy football. If the ball don't hit the ground, yeah, I go for you because two is one of the best. You ain't never got to worry about the ball hitting the ground. He gonna hit somebody. He did it the other night against the Bills. Throw that ball in stride. I ain't say it's for the right team, but he'll hit you. He'll hit you. Oh, he'll definitely, He just he yeah, my backup is probably Trevor Lawrence. Cause again, he don't never throw no bad ball. He gonna hit somebody. And Bryce Young is up there too. Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray's in there too. I got some great fantasy quarterbacks. You know what the fantasy is? Because these turkeys get to start. That's what's a fantasy. Oh shucks, that turkey playing like he trying to be MVP. I don't know what they gonna have to drug test him. I mean, he balling. Oh, but and the Colts, quiet as it's kept, might fool around and win that whack division because if CJ Strauss if they don't learn how to score 20 points, if they can't crack more than 20, yeah. That's what I'm noticing. I was talking about CJ Stroud the other day. Houston is too stagnant. And it ain't like you play the kind of defense that you just score 19 and give up 17. Ain't no Wade Phillips situation, but they don't score enough points. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Tip of my tongue, but I know what you're talking about. I'm impressed though. The Colts, I mean, they beat Denver. And if they win those kind of games, they can win that division. So they might be a problem. You know, Daniel Jones can prove me wrong because he sucked with the Giants. But then again, I come to find out everybody sucks with the Giants though. The Giants are just like bad luck. So the Giants suck. Because you know good and well that when Russell Wilson, who played out his mind, I don't think you'll get I don't think he'll play another game like that because he played against Dallas and their defense sucks. And if you're a Cowboy fan, you suck. And I know I have Cowboy fans on here. Your defense is horrible. It's horror and bull, and you gonna miss Micah. You gonna have turkeys walking all in the front because Russell threw a bad pick. They put 37 on your behind in Dallas. You're in for a long butt season. Long butt season. No, he's a great running back. You saw what happened in Philadelphia. That was crackhead to let him go. I'm not cause see Jerry Jones is arrogant enough to think that he get him a sweep. And this is the thing, letting him go to a rival who's a better team than you, and that could mean they could be standing on your throat for about 3 or 4 years. Oh yeah, yeah, and just like the skeleton video, well, yeah, Michael Jackson did it with Liberian Girl. People have had famous people in the videos. Well, that's because he also was in a better situation. Line was better, but he's a legit back. Mm, the Giants are just after what happened. They ain't never was the same after Odell Beckham. That's what it was. Because ODB showed you that, and that's what they end up doing. And they never regrouped. They were happy after the whole Eli Manning thing. And then what? And then that's what you got. So they suck right now. Well, Dallas don't make no sense, but he is legit. And he's got all the makings of something big. And it's giving Reggie White flashbacks to come into Green Bay. This could have big dividends for some years to come. Don't be surprised if they're in a Super Bowl. So Dallas just did one of the most stupidest moves I ever seen. So because they really could have gotten better. They better. They better. I'm thinking Russell had an out of body last week. But then again, Kansas City secondary sucks. So he might could light that butt up. Oh yeah. But the problem with him is we didn't get the best of him. That's the sad part. We never got where else he could have gone with it. He's first ballot, but it's just a good. Well, Reggie couldn't win in Philly. Aaron Donald was the right fit with the Rams, and it worked out. And Lawrence was incredible with the Giants. But you know, if you can get you about 5 or 6 pieces, you might make that deal. Depending on who what we talking about. Because Miles Copeland, he is a first ballot. He has a 2,000 yard seat. He's a big time. Okay, Derrick Henry is gonna be kind of like the James Harden of running backs. The yeah, that's yeah. Because if James Harden had won a ring when he was adding them 35 points and putting up there, people put in the same sentence with Jordan Kobe and Dwayne Wade. Derrick Henry won a ring. You put him in the same sentence with whoever you want because his numbers and his impact and he yeah, he gets in. Hmm. You're probably using his postseason against him, and I understand that. But if you look at the totality of what he's done, he's definitely because for whatever reason they don't look at him in the same capacity as Montana, Lawton, Rice, and them, and that's a shame. He must have said something about somebody too. No, well, playing with Green Bay, and if again he's gonna save Matt LaFleur's job. I don't know. Football is not like that. And football is different. Rings don't really work for you. It's your numbers, your impact. And then, of course, if people think you're great, it's not about your rings. Oh, I think he's going to be the piece. I don't think there's no questions about it because filling the Rams aside, that's all Green Bay got to worry about. If they do what they're supposed to do and Jordan Love don't make mistakes and they stay consistent, they're going to a Super Bowl. I'd say Green Bay's got to be the team to beat the NFC East after this year, the next 2 or 3. So I don't think there's no questions asked. All right, we got some Cardi B polls coming along. Thank you very much. Please hit the likes up too. Appreciate it. I like Shady McCoy, but I don't know. Hall of Fame? I don't know. I think that's why he got a TV gig. Maybe people trying to remember him. I don't know. When we talk Hall of Fame, we should be able to just unequivocally say you're a Hall of Famer. We shouldn't have to like think about it. That's one thing I will give Skip Bayless props on. He was right about that. If you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. We ain't gotta kind of wonder. So different people have different criteria, though. All right, now let's get some conversations going. People getting quiet now. Okay, I agree. Let's see where everybody else is at. Everybody got quiet now. Because the song wasn't fit. It wasn't really gonna do anything. Um, and I think that Clive probably was telling her not to, which was actually a smart move on her part. He was kind of desperate though for "I Just Can't Stop Loving You" because he wanted Barbara Streisand. He was just kind of like, he tried Prince for Bad. He was really trying to bring a lot of juice, which kind of took away the focus. I'm glad those things didn't come to pass. I think Sierra Garrett was perfect because Man in the Mirror turned out to be the best song on the Bad album for me. So I think it was perfect, like The Unknown. I think that was one of the problems that he ran into because he was trying to top himself and bring a big name. And you gotta be very careful with that with the record. And him and Whitney could like, a little bit different songs. No, I think Sierra Garrett was perfect because her voice blended with his. And plus, she was kind of like she had done the hook on "Don't Look Any Further," but it worked out good. It made him look shining because Whitney was coming into her own. You got to be very careful who you mix and match with because Michael's a very competitive man and Whitney's a competitive woman, so you got to put that in consideration. Yeah, but I think it turned out the way it's supposed to. I think Sierra hit the spot. I would have loved to heard Whitney do the way I really heard her when she did that remake of Love Will Find a Way in '85. It's a live version that she did in Houston. She did Lionel Richie's Love Will Find a Way. If you ever get a chance to hear that, then that voice was smoking. Some above I was gonna answer, but I can't think right now. But anyway, it's back to Jay Will. That's the thing I think with Roger Craig, and he didn't get no support, so he got kind of taken for granted. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you know. But yeah, okay. Let's keep on getting everything going. So we got quite a few people coming on here today. Okay. See if we got anybody else coming through. It's getting quiet again. Hmm. Okay. See what we got. Feel free to come with some comments. Yeah, what's up? Waiting on some conversation. I did address you, Will, about the Roger Craig thing. Whatever. I'd rather talk about Roger Craig than Luca. To do what? Fallout? They're not winning no chip. First of all, I'm not impressed. I think that's one of the biggest scams there ever was. You got to tell a man that's getting paid all that kind of money to get himself in shape. You mean to tell me he came in where he was drinking beer and eating burgers, and he saw how you looked in Game 3 against the Timberwolves, and you getting excited when Rudy Gobert was looking like a cross between Wilt, Kareem, and Shaq? Whatever. They shared everybody. He ain't gonna prove me wrong. Two things. It's a no win. It's a win win because the Lakers, the league wants him to win. Duh. And B, I'm not impressed because he's had time. He sat around and watched Giannis win a ring, watched Jokic win a ring, watched Shea win a ring. So everybody over across the pond is getting a ring, so it's only fitting, right? Think about it. Read the logic. He went to the finals. Think about it. Of course he tried to hit on her. And she was passed around too, so that's a whole nother story, another video. She's gonna have somebody to sponsor her. And they all shared the same women. I mean, the difference is that they proved themselves. Both of them were league MVPs. Shaq camped out in the finals, changed his tone, and was that's not why he got traded. Did Shaq get traded in his peak in his prime? Did Charles Barkley get traded in his peak in his prime because he was a problem? Barkley had nothing to work with in Philadelphia. In fact, you could say he was the league MVP in Philly. Luca turned Jason Kidd off. I already know. So when Nika Harrison made that move, that was the inside call. Think about it. If a point guard who's a head coach sees a ball hog that's a multiple player, he ain't gonna let him go unless there's something being green light. He was in Philly, but he could have been MVP both. The difference between Barkley and Luka is this: Barkley just didn't apply himself always to doing stuff, and he still was great. Luka plays the way he plays, but I don't see no variation. His defense sucks. He basically looks like a white version of James Harden. That's how I look at him. And guys like that got to have defensive stoppers, got to have guys who are willing to defer and play top of the key and cover his shortcomings. Good luck with that. So I'm not impressed. Barkley will still be considered a better player than Luka as we talk right now. You can look at the top 25, 50. Barkley's still ahead. So Luka got to go and win a couple rings, league MVP, then we can talk. Right now, he's not. He's a guy who's got a lot of potential. But the league is set up for him to be the next dude. I mean, he's in LA. They hate Shea. Tatum is out for the year, so it's set up for him. His peers and his sidemen are waiting on him to join the party. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right, so I got about 5 more minutes before I'm ready to roll. I've been on for like almost an hour, so appreciate everybody coming through. I'll be doing some Sundays here and there. I probably more likely it's questionable tomorrow. Definitely back Wednesday and possibly Thursday. So 3 times out the week you'll see me live. The difference was that he lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Bulls. And he lost the Western Conference Finals. He was competing for finals. Yeah, but the difference is that Shaq was considered one of the best players ever, and they had to change rules, and he was, coming to his own. And it was a different league. You can't compare the situations because Shaq just didn't have the wheels with everybody he had around him. He was in the finals his third year, and he lost the next year to Chicago before he went out to the Lakers. And I think they lost to Utah in the Western Conference Final one of those years. So had the right coach, the right system. But Shaq changed coordinate his game, and then he applied himself a different layer. It was a different guy from the Magic to the Lakers to the Heat. He got a better than 50% because I'm gonna tell you, like I said to you, if Chad Holmgren, who I think snuck a ring this year, gets better, they got a chance to win another ring or two. Because Chad is the dude. And now he got a season of it. SGA comes back. They healthy, they're motivated, and they got the core. They got a chance to win a ring. So I'd say they got about a little better than 50. Only reason why I say better is because of injuries and the West being kind of janky from 2 through onward because it's watered down. But play like I know he can, they got a good chance. If anybody I was rooting for to get a back to back, it would be SGA because I like the way he play. I generally like that team. I think they're fun to watch. I think they're, you know, so I got no problem with OKC. And I think he gets disrespected for things that got nothing to do with basketball. Because I put it to you like this. He's the kind of dude you could run with and win. So they gotta make sure that they're playing. They're able to get other guys involved. They can't sit there and just expect them to cherry pick. They gotta do subtle and not so subtle. And he's got to stay healthy. He stays healthy. I'd like them to get past the second round. I don't know about no chip though. I just think that the guys are old. I'm sorry. I just look at KD, Steph, LeBron, Clay, Harden as old guys. I just don't think they can, withstand unless, of course, a few other factors fall in. Yeah. The people in the powers that be would like to say a real threat. I don't know about the work for hire at this stage because Houston is a streaky team and they got to play better defense. And if he's healthy, I'm sure he's got a bullseye on him, and you know, but he's got to be healthy though. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go in about a couple minutes, so get some more conversations on. Okay. Looks like everybody kind of went the wrong way. Okay. I'll do for one more minute, then I'm gonna roll. Appreciate everyone that came through today. Welcome to Sunday. If you're watching football, I understand. If you're coming through, appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be back again. We'll catch you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. And I'm the best to you. And I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Thanks for everyone that came through today. All right. I'm out one time. Peace.